Captain Gjallan does the business around here. I'm just a ship's mate.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore. Sure. Yeah, that's me. Why? Who sent you? Now, hold on. That wasn't my fault. I didn't know they were going to attack anybody. I don't even know how I got here. It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. And that's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim. Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there. All right, you have a point. Taking you back to find out who sent them is the least I can do. Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there. I owe them a bit of payback myself. Well, here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions. Mirak, I'm not sure. But I do. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here. We've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Redoran's representative on Solstheim. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Raven Rock started out as an Imperial settlement. The Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles, but when House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home. Your ignorance of our homeland doesn't surprise me. It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from them. Quite a while ago, yes. They cut a bloody swath across most of the southern region of Morrowind. Nobody seems certain why it happened. Attempted expansion, revenge for the enslavement of their people, or perhaps both. Whatever the case may be, thousands of Dunmen needlessly lost their lives. Many more were exiled from their homeland. Gjallan, I was starting to wonder what happened.
We were delayed by bad weather. Before Before you even ask, yes, have the supplies you requested. But
What?
this load cost me double what we'd agreed on. Nothing I can do about it.
Damn it, Jolland. You know we don't have that much coin.
Look, the East Empire Company didn't give me a choice. They've raised their prices again, and there's nothing I can do about it.
After all these years, they're gouging us for every last drake we have. Let me talk to Laeral. I'll see what we can do.
All right, Admiral. Don't worry about rushing. Just pay me when you can. I've been sailing the Northern Maiden across the Sea of Ghosts for nearly 20 years now. Might be time to find a new home port, though, the way things are going around here. May the wind be at your back, friend.
If you're looking for passage, talk to Captain Gallagher.
The Northern Maiden is shipshape and ready to go.
I've sworn to keep Councillor Morvain safe, and I intend to take that oath to the grave if need be. Remember, we're watching you.
Here in his shrine, that they have forgotten.
You there. You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others here. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here? Mirak. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite place... Oh, wait, I recall. But that makes very little sense. Mirak's been dead for thousands of years. I'm not sure, but it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there. Building something, clearly, and yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish. Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out. You are too young to remember the Nerevari. He defeated Dagahur and saved us all from the Blight. When the city of Vivek was destroyed, it took decades for us to rebuild. We are still but a shadow of our glorious past, but someday we will rise again. Red Mountain dominates the island. Every now and then, ash and debris from an eruption land on our shores. It's the homeland of the Dawnguard. The lesser races call us Dark Elves. We built great works there, like Vivek and Aldrun. Many of them are destroyed now, either by Red Mountain or the Argonian invasion. It is the only place where Silt Striders can be found. Although I managed to transplant a few here when I arrived. The ignorant think it is only a place of ash and lava. It has rolling green plains and swamps and verdant hills too. There is the big island of Ardenfell and the coastal mainland. House Telvanni has its properties on Vardenfell. I've never been to the mainland myself.
That we might remember.
Always a pleasure to watch when a man like you walks by. That's not someone who lives in Raven Rock, I don't think. But it sounds so familiar. Maybe. I can't help but think of some sort of temple on the island. Why would that be? And don't stay away for too long.
I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive. I wish I could have said the same for my man here. Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them Ashspawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped. I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction. Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind. And I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard. We were searching the farm when the Ashspawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful. No one knows, really. Superstitious folks say they're the risen forms of those that died long ago. But I'm not so certain. They started attacking the bulwark a few weeks ago. My men were able to kill them, but they keep coming back. We've had 2 other assaults on the bulwark, at different spots on the wall. I know it sounds crazy, but it's almost like they're becoming more organized and probing it for weaknesses. Exactly. Something has to be directing them against us, and we need to find out who or what it is. I might know someone, or maybe not. I can't remember. I can't. I just can't be sure. I think maybe he had something to do with a temple. A temple here on the island. Does that help? I don't. All I know is that the Ashspawn are coming from this direction. So this is as good a place to start as anywhere else. Good thing the farm's been abandoned for a long time. I'd hate to see what they would do to an unarmed farmer and his family. Not sure. I was told it was an old Imperial farm that was wiped out by the eruption of the Red Mountain. Not certain who lived there. It was already a pile of rubble when I arrived in Raven Rock. Report back to me if you discover anything unusual. Have you found something? This is strange. The note says it's from General Folks Carius, but that's impossible. Well, Carius was the Imperial garrison commander at Fort Frostmoth, but he died over 200 years ago when the Red Mountain leveled the place. There's no way he could still be alive. If General Carius is still alive, there must be something keeping him that way. I need you to head out to Fort Frostmoth and check it out. I'm gonna head back to Raven Rock and prepare the men for further assaults. Be careful. This General Carius sounds out of his mind.
invader has entered the fort. Prepare yourselves for an ambush. Fort Frostmoth will never fall. Long live the Empire!
What news do you bring from Fort Frostmoth? I had my suspicions that he was undead. How else could he have survived for over 200 years? It's a shame. There are quite a few tales of General Carius's exploits, including the founding of Raven Rock. Councillor Morvain told me to give this to you if you made it back in one piece. And you got rid of General Carius. Better than a soldier's pay, so you should be thankful. It can be. Even the most experienced warriors can fall prey to petty distractions. They usually didn't amount to much, but they make my job that much harder. Some of my own men have become quite accustomed to a spirit they called Emberbrand wine. Despise the stuff myself. It's powerful and tremendously addicting. I've seen men fail to finish even a single flask. If I knew where they were stashing the bottles, I'd put an end to it myself. You would? That would be helpful. I just don't have time to do it myself right now. They're too smart to have left it in the bulwark. I'd search one of the abandoned houses on the outskirts of town. All of the soldiers in this town are Redoran Guard. Some of the best warriors that House Redoran has to offer. I've spent quite a few years honing their skills, and I can assure you they're not just your average city guard. To protect Councillor Morvain, of course. He has quite a few friends on the council back in Morrowind, and they wanted to ensure his safety while he was here. Other than that, I'm not at liberty to discuss it. Ah, this is bone mold armor. Quite impressive, wouldn't you say? It's fashioned from actual bone that's been reinforced with a resin-like material and then shaped to form the armor plating. It might appear brittle, but I'd wager it could stop the blow of a weapon better than iron or steel. Find me that stash of wine. I'm itching to be rid of it. Modin Veleth, Captain of the Redoran Guard, at your service. Good. This will help me keep things running without having to worry about a bunch of soldiers falling asleep on duty. Here, take this for your trouble.